You'll only get one shot to make a stellar impression. It has to be absolutely the best. And when it comes to DC's new DC Studios and the James Gunn film Superman presented by James Gunn, it has to be good. It has to be perfect. It has to be enthralling. And most of all, it has to be available to a massive audience. And yet, James Gunn has assured we have modern politics in Superman. And that may be a real problem. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Now, before we get started, just quickly double check you're still subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. And when you get about halfway through or maybe to the end, be sure to make a comment or two. And then go ahead and follow up and watch a video right after, as that will indicate to YouTube you're actually interested in the channel still. But what I'm interested in is even broader, because one of my favorite superheroes is not so super anymore. And we talked a lot about Superman being a weakling for some reason, and why he essentially bleeds from the very beginning of the film. But over the holiday 5-day weekend, we learned something else. That James Gunn is forcing modern politics and his political takes into Superman, which could spell doom. And this was an opportunity to overcome everything that Marvel had built, to catch up and maybe surpass what is basically a disaster waiting to happen with film after film after film flopping. This was a way to bring DC back to the standards, back to the fold, and back to excellence. But I fear that's a lot to hope for now. In fact, I think there's no hope for Superman with this kind of obvious political stuff that Variety gives us here today. James Gunn says Superman is about an immigrant, ring, 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 that came from other places and how we've lost the value of basic human kindness. Yes, it's about politics. And that's a quote. And I would have thought that he would have done better. I thought that maybe Peter Safran would help him reel it in. But this guy wears his politics on his sleeve, and he's not afraid to shove it down your throat. And we'll take a look at this article, but this is beyond the fears that I had about all the terrible storytelling that he was suggesting. Superman isn't an allegory for illegal immigration. It just isn't. It never has been. It is about an alien that lands on this planet and joins the human race and does his absolute best at every step to exemplify what his race stood for. And good for him. It was never about illegal immigration. And yet, here we are. From Variety, James Gunn is opening up about what Superman is really about. In his Sunday profile with the Times of London, the DC Studios head went deep on the themes and ideas that drive his highly anticipated Superman. Maybe not so highly anticipated anymore, at least not by me. He explained that the superhero epic encompasses the story of America, and at a basic level is about a man searching for a better life away from his original home. No, it's not. The planet he was on was going to destroy itself. He was the last hope of survival for his race, and he was teleported into space to a place where there was a similar environment that he could probably survive, even as an infant. And yet, he continues with his terrible take on Superman. I mean, Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it's mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. Well, you got rid of truth, justice, and the American way, Gunn. You don't believe in America. You're very anti-American. And as a matter of fact, kindness is one thing, and the United States has always been kind. But we really don't appreciate criminals and criminal activity. And that's something that you seem to have lost here. You have lost the plot. Gunn acknowledged that the movie's themes may be interpreted differently across political groups, especially considering the current nationwide unrest around immigration. That's not what the unrest has been about. The unrest has been paid for by others so that somebody could project the message. One that isn't landing, by the way, is the administration's current polling suggests it's about as high as it possibly gets for a president and a new administration. And there hasn't been anyone close since Ronald Reagan. And as a matter of fact, even he is being beaten by the current administration. Even CNN says so. And if you're wondering why I seem to be bringing politics into this, I'm not. Gunn is, and has, apparently, in the film itself. This is a very bad sign for the future of this film. It's now going to be divisive. Superman's not supposed to be divisive. Superman is now going to be a weakling. He's never been a weakling. He's really only weakened by kryptonite. And so far in any of these clips that we've seen, I haven't seen any. However, Gunn stands by the ideals embedded in Superman and added that he doesn't care if anybody takes offense. I'm sure the studios and the investors are loving that particular talking point. David Zaslav may have to rethink his strategy on DC, because you can't reboot it again so close to the last time it failed. And this could be a point of failure. If Superman goes down and the next thing on the table is Supergirl, DC's in big trouble. Continuing, Gunn says, yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive because it is about kindness, but screw them. No, it's not. It's about your thoughts on illegal immigration. And I can tell you right now, I've seen nothing so far in any of the things I've seen that would point me towards the direction of kindness, especially the kindness between Lois and Clark. And I think we know why. Continuing, yes, it's about politics, but on another level. It's about morality. You wouldn't know morality if it hit you over the head, Mr. Gunn. Do you never kill no matter what, which is what Superman believes? Or do you have some balance, as Lois believes? It's really about their relationship and the way different opinions on basic moral beliefs can tear two people apart. Well, you're doing a great job of tearing the nation apart instead of unifying it with Superman. But hey, Gunn, that's just what you do. So, I'll pose the first question. Superman releases on July 11th. It stars David Corenswet as a very weak man of apparently paper, not steel. Rachel Brosnahan is a very boss babe girl boss that maybe we don't, or maybe we're not supposed to like. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor, one of the best bad guys, but couldn't they think of another for the beginning of the Superman Chronicle? Maria Gabrielle de Faria as the engineer is going to be an interesting take on that character. Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern, or a version of one of the many Green Lanterns. Skylar Gisondo is going to be Jimmy Olsen, and Isabella Merced is going to be Hawkgirl. And they've done a really good job of balancing a whole lot of things there to meet all the diversity checkboxes. And I'm no longer going to think that this could overcome my expectations, because clearly it's not going to. I fully expect this to be the kind of slop garbage that was coming out of Marvel for so long. And my opinion of Gunn will fall if it's anything like the way this article indicates. And I'm going to be very disappointed with DC Studios, because it has no more excuses to not be better than Marvel. And this time, it's taking another swing at a pitch in the dirt. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. And I'm on the verge of anger, because there are some franchises you care about, and no matter what it seems to be at this point in time, it's all being torn down. Anyway, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments section below. After this article, after these statements and quotes, are you still interested in Superman? Are you excited for more modern day messaging in another piece of comic book content that is set only to divide and not unite? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya! But maybe not at Superman.